Okay, Patrick, that was a really good class. I know it was a bit challenging for you. We're doing some different things with the songs now, and we're doing that because this means that you have understood the the basics. All right, so now we're kind of going more into specific ways of playing these songs, and we're going to be changing things up a little bit. Okay, so I know it's a bit of a challenge in this area right now. It'll get better. What we need to do is to work more on the tempo of these songs, and and just work step by step. Take it slow first and then work step by step. You could speed it up a bit just to hear certain differences um, in the chord changes. Okay. Um, I noticed that when you weren't playing with the pick, and you noticed it before I did, when you weren't playing with the pick with Stand By Me, it was a lot more comfortable for you. Okay. Um, you you were getting the hitting of the soundboard and strumming a lot better. It was more controlled. Okay, so yeah, you were getting the tempo and everything seemed to fit a little bit better than before. Okay, using the pick is good, but sometimes when it comes to like rhythms, there's certain things that you can do that just feels better without the pick. So that's a good thing. All right. A little trick, because when you're doing the song, there's a point where you're going to be playing the melody and the solo, and you're going to need your pick. So what you're going to do is you're going to keep the pick on you. Okay. Sometimes people, the old way, they'd put the pick in the pocket and they would take the pick out and play. But you don't want to be fumbling around with your, trying to find the pick and stuff in your pockets when you're playing the song. What you want to do is when you're not, I'm using this as a pick, by the way, there's a trick that we're going to use. If you're playing the song, and you're using the pick and you're doing your melody, when you don't want to use the pick and it's time for you to play the chords and you want to discard or not use the pick, um, you're going to put the pick towards like in the head of the guitar. The head of my guitar is a lot different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to put the pick inside of the strings, in and out of the strings. So what I mean by that is the head of the guitar on mine, there's no space. There's usually space on the head of a regular guitar. So this wouldn't be so close to your first fret. You'd have about a fret and a half of space like this. Like this is what you would have. First you would see the head and this is what you would have. This would all be the head of the guitar. So what you would do is you would put your pick right in that area. So you would put the pick right in there. And this is how you're going to do it. Just the way it would go through the strings, okay? I'm just showing you how it would go through the strings. You can go above the string, and then loop it under, and then let it rest, right? Pull it out, and then you play your melody and your solo, and then when you're done, you can loop it over, under, rest. And this where I put it, not here, don't put it here, but you put it all the way where the head of your guitar is. Not on the frets, but on the head of the guitar. Okay? I hope this makes sense. All right? So this is not the only way you could put it through the strings. You can go the other way. You could put it under and then over a string and then under. That way, and usually you'll cover like three strings, 1, 2, 3, right? Just like that. All right? On the head of the guitar. That way, when you're playing and it's time for you to use your pick, you just pull it out and start playing, then you put it back in and you play your chords. And it's that easy. There's always like a little trick to everything. So I would do it that way. Some guys, when they're playing, you know, and they're playing their solo, and it's time for them to play the chords. What they'll do is they'll kind of like do one of these, and as a, and then they'll go into the song. But this is a big thing, so I can't really hit the soundboard and then play it at the same time. Picks are small, so you could usually kind of hold the pick like that, and then just kind of, and then I would probably just go and do one of those, but I don't use picks. You know, sometimes I'll use picks for the electric guitar. I could use both, but I prefer certain styles where I'm just using the fingers. So those are some tricks you can use when you're playing the song and actively playing it and you want to switch up. That's what you would do. All right, now we're getting into the song. You know how to do the chord, the progressions and everything? Perfect. Without the pick, it sounds really good because you have a lot of control there. What we're going to work on is the other way of playing that song, where you're playing the rhythm and the melody at the same time. The melody is going to change a bit. It's going to change a little bit because you're shifting around certain things because the style of the song is going to, you're concentrating on the rhythm and the melody being played together at the same time. So certain chords aren't going to be completely played. You're just going to be using the root of certain chords in certain spots of the song. Then you're going to return to the progression in certain spots where you could play the whole chord. All right. So let me just. Okay. So here's what I mean when you do. When you're doing that, instead of doing that, we're going to be here. We're going to start the melody and the rhythm. So I'm just going to call these out. All right. So it's your E string that you're focusing on for those first 3 notes. That's all you're going to do. And then when you're going to play the A, so it's E, G, A. But you're going to play the A again. And when you play the A on the second time, you're going to put your finger on the C or the 3rd fret of your 5th string. So, and then open E, you're going to put your ring finger on the G or your 3rd fret of the 1st string. And you play it once and then you play it twice. On the second time, you're going to place your middle finger on the 3rd fret of your 5th string. That's a C, right? And then you're going to go C, B, open A, and play the A minor. And then you're going to go C, open E, right? And then you're going to play a D, which is your 3rd fret of the 2nd string. And then C, A minor. And then F. And then you're just kind of picking the first 2 strings, 2nd string, 1st string, while you're in an F chord, F bar chord. And then you slide it to a G, hit the bass or the root, and strum down. And then you're going to go E, D, C. Right? So. Okay. We're gonna change a few things up at the last the when we get to the C, because there's a uh, and we're gonna go into the C again. But we're gonna and then so we're gonna play around with that second part, but just keep that first part that I showed you about the breakdown of doing the starting melody and how you change and go into the A minor, and then you're doing an F and you're sliding it to a G, and E, D, and C, and you're back to the beginning. Play that over and over and over again until you start to feel comfortable with the way those fingers are positioned. Okay. And then go back into the, if you want to stop there, you can just go right back into the chord structure that you started off with. Right? Play around with it. All right. So that was really good. And don't use the pick for this. The other thing too was the Your Song, the gypsy jazz style. Let me back up in touch base about the reggae style that we did at the very beginning, doing your circle of fifths. When you did that reggae style, just kind of remember it's just you're hitting the root once. Right? I just kind of added something in there. I don't want to confuse you on that, but yeah, just a root once. But when you do gypsy jazz, when you do the gypsy jazz doing the circle of fifths, it's right. If you were to play this and you could like put this to like a cartoon, picture like Tom and Jerry, like Tom is like tiptoeing and trying to catch sneaking up on Jerry the mouse. The cat is trying to sneak up on the mouse. That's how that's supposed to sound. It's like you're kind of sneaking up on your prey and you're gonna pounce on him. So it's just like so that's how you want to play that style. As a good portion of some of those songs, they play just like that, the background music, and then your solos. That's what's gonna really kind of give you a lot of leeway to put a lot of feeling into your playing, and explore some different styles when you play. But we're gonna get into that. Basically, you want to work on your pentatonic and your C major scale, C major and A pentatonic, and really play around with all those different modes that you now know. All right, you have to start playing around with those. With your song in particular, the Ode to Patrick, work on your C major seventh sweep, because you're going to put that in there in a lot of places. So you're going to do a lot of different things with that. There's a lot of different aspects of jazz, but gypsy jazz, so it's very free, and there's a lot of things you could do. You were asking about the pentatonics and how you can put sharps in there. Well, this is definitely the style where you can do like almost a chromatic. You could use chromatic scales in there where you're using all of the notes, but you have to keep it in the structure of the key that you're playing in. Like if it's A pentatonic, make sure that when you hit those sharps, you're staying within the frame of the A pentatonic. And for instance, when you do like the 5 6 7, you don't want to do 6 or 5 7 6. You don't want to just, when the song is, and you don't want to do stuff like that. Not yet. There's a place for that, because that actually kind of sounded interesting. But for now, there's a way of doing everything. So you can do different things, but there's a way of doing it. Sneaking the notes in there, but kind of making some things happen in there. You could slide your notes, and just kind of, but you have to include the structure of that scale, so the pattern, the apentatonic pattern, stays in check. But what you put inside of the apentatonic, that's what you're going to have a lot of fun doing. All right, there's even bends in there that you could do. Right, I'm just having fun with it. Gypsy jazz is a lot of fun to do. All right, so practice, and stay in touch. Keep in contact with me throughout the week. Let me know what and if there's any new ideas that you come up with in playing around with these different patterns. Okay, thank you so much, and practice, my friend. I will see you on Monday. God bless.